Hi, everyone. Good evening. It's Monday night again, and the Tilt ladies are back to inspire and motivate you and train you and do everything we can possibly do to get you through the next week with some of our assistance. So I hope you all had a successful week last week. And before we get started, though, there's a few things I just want to say. I want to welcome those who are here. And to our regulars, bless you all for coming each and every week like you do. For the new ones that are out there, if you are new, please introduce yourself. Say hi in the chat. We would love to be able to say hi back to you and welcome you. And the ones that come on every week, they're so good at saying hello too. So you'll meet lots of new friends here, and that can never hurt. So we do these little hangouts for you, 1 hour hangouts every Monday night for all of you, the dreamer, the doer, the entrepreneur. And we do it so that we can inspire you and we can motivate you and we can bring you some sort of training that you just might need in your business. And it's so much fun for us. So I just want to say thank you for coming. Now, the couple of things that I want to mention tonight before we get rolling. I want to do a special shout out to Ellie Walsh tonight. I noticed on the Facebook thread that today's kind of a sad day for her. It's 10 years today that her mom went to be with the Lord. And I just want to say, you're the best, Ellie. I saw you said that, you've got part of your mom in you. And I thought, wow, she must have been one fantastic lady, because you are. So our hearts and our prayers go out to you today, because I know you're really feeling it. The other one I want to give a shout out to is Rebecca Walker. She is over in Qatar with the military. She's a lieutenant colonel in the Air Force, and she's stationed over there. And she really wanted to be on here tonight because she said that our hangouts just get her through so much. They just carry her through. And we were hoping she could make it, but the universe didn't work out that way. She was having trouble getting to sleep tonight, and the last she messaged me, it was sometime after midnight, and it's 3 o'clock in the morning over there when this comes on. So she has to work tomorrow, and she just couldn't do it. So bless you, dear. You stay strong. You've got an important job over there, and you need your sleep. You're fighting for all of us. So we love you all and wish you the best, and thank you for everything you do. So having said that to those two very special ladies, I want to get moving along right now because I am freaking excited about tonight. This training is, oh man, I've been waiting for this, and I don't know, I had that light bulb moment last week where I thought, Shirley can do a Canva training for us, because everybody says Canva is wonderful. Everybody says it's great. Everybody says it's so easy. Well, I must be Canva challenged, because I go in there and I am like crappy-oly. I'm like, I end up getting upset and I just trash everything. So I can hardly wait tonight. And I know there's more of you out there that feel that same way, that you actually really need this training. So Shirley's going to go through some things tonight. I have no idea what she's going to do with it, how she's going to handle it. But I do know that we've discussed this. And if you've got questions, please put them in the chat roll, because she's going to be more than glad to answer them for you and help you. So now's your opportunity. Now's your chance. Okay. Don't be shy. Put the questions out there and we'll get to them. And hopefully she can get to all the questions and answer them. So on that note, Shirley May, just real quickly, I just want to say poor Zen's having trouble getting on over in China town where she is, China land. But and Erica, bless her heart, she got on and we could hear her, but she couldn't hear us. So she's with you people out there tonight. She's in the audience, and so say hi to everybody out there, Erica. And right now I want to take it away with Shirley. Go ahead, my dear, and train us. I can hardly wait.
Thank you, Nettie. And wow, I mean, no pressure, huh? Canva has actually been making a lot of changes. So, you know, who knows, I'll be going into the website tonight. I may be completely new there myself. They're changing so many things, but I just enjoy Canva so much. And I am more than delighted to share with you my joy of Canva, what I know of Canva, and so forth. So before I get started, if you guys don't know who I am, my name is Shirley May. I grew up Amish, and I recently started this entrepreneurial journey online about 2 years ago, and it was really confusing in the beginning. It was hard. I remember wanting to throw my computer out the window because at the time I barely knew how to turn on a toaster, let alone a computer. And so I just want to encourage you tonight, if you're feeling like there's so many new things going on with Periscope and Blab and Mir, I don't even know all the new stuff coming out in Canva, right? I just want to encourage you not to get discouraged, because you will find that one thing that you really love doing. I love a bunch of things. One of them is Canva. And once you find that one thing that you really love doing, just focus on that. Make sure you learn how to market going through our training in the back office, but just find that one thing that you're good at, and don't worry about all the other stuff popping up that you should be learning, right? Because you can't learn it all. So tonight we're just going to focus on one thing. I do have a few slides just to kind of get you guys into the headspace of where I'm at, and then I'm going to go straight into Canva. So if you guys want to have me on the one screen, and if you want to open up another screen, go to canva.com, just Google it or whatever, and we can maybe kind of work side by side and so forth. So I'm just going to start sharing my screen and try to open up some slides. All right. So Nettie, if you just want to unmute yourself for a half a second and let me know that you can see my first slide.
I can see your first slide. Is there any way you can make it just a little bigger though?
I think I did. Let me see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just hit this play button here, and then we'll just kind of go through it that way.
Okay.
And it should work.
Okay.
Let me know if it doesn't.
Yep.
Okay. So the title for tonight is How to Create Heart-Stopping Graphics in Half the Time and Double the Fun. All right. So first I want to talk about why learning graphics are so important. I may be a little biased because I love actually working with it so much, but I did some research for you guys and it blew my mind, okay? When making purchases, 92.6% of people make decisions based on the visual factor. That 92%, right? When making purchases, and the most important thing when someone is ready to make a purchase is that they make a decision. And if they do it based on the visual factor, that means visuals are super important, right? 65% of all people are visual learners. So it makes sense that it's easy for them to make decisions if the visual is there, right? Photos on Facebook get 53% more likes than the average post. Twitter tweets with images get 150% more retweets, right? That's crazy to me, because if anyone has been struggling with engagement on Facebook or engagement on Twitter or any social media thing, this is the reason. You don't have enough images in your posts. This is the only reason. This is like, you should do it right now. You should start putting more image posts, right, instead of text. Okay, even blog posts, right? Blog posts with visuals drive 180% more engagement. One can interpret a visual in less than 1/10 of a second, which makes sense again, because if you want people to make a decision fast, and most people are visual learners, then it would make sense to understand that they can interpret a visual in less than 1/10 of a second. That totally makes sense, right? Almost half of your brain is involved in the visual process. Why is that a good thing? Well, that means that you have less of your brain telling you no, right? You have less of your brain doubting the sale, doubting that you should go ahead and buy. So the key thing to know about graphics is not just any graphic gets more engagement, but good graphics will. with everyone using graphics so much, it creates competition. And this is a good thing, because while everyone else is out there grabbing images off of Google, and I can't even tell you how wrong that is and how illegal that is, and you could get sued, right? But with everyone else doing that, you can go in on Canva or PicMonkey, right? But Canva, tonight we're using that as an example. You can go in Canva and use and learn how to create really good graphics and stand head and shoulders above the competition, right? It doesn't take much for you to elevate yourself above your competition and make your followers notice that you are going above and beyond, right? So in this training, you're going to learn how to stand apart from the competition using the 4 key elements in graphic design. You're going to learn the exact tools and secret shortcuts I use to create graphics in half the time and double the fun. And at the end, if we have time, I'm going to give you guys an over-the-shoulder tell-all to building everything visual, from side banners to fan page posts and everything in between. So first of all, before we get started, the 4 key elements in graphic design are very simple, okay? Fonts, images, color palette, and size. Right? These are the only 4 things that are going to be running through your head when you're on Canva and when you're ready to create an image. So good graphic design is when they all flow together in beautiful flowiness. I think I just made up a word there. But what that means basically is that everything is simple, okay? The font is easy to read, right? The image isn't too dark and making the font hard to read, right? The color palette isn't too hard on the eyes, right? The size is good. You know how sometimes you're on Facebook and someone posts something and you have to actually click on the picture to read the rest of the picture? That means it wasn't sized correctly for Facebook, okay? So you want people to be able to read everything correctly, simply, and fast, because they're going to click on the next thing in like 7 seconds, right? So what's most important about branding and images and fonts and all that is that you stay congruent, right? Staying consistent with your brand, with the fonts, etc. It builds trust and it builds recognition. So by the end of this training, you will know how to create images like this. This first image, doing everything right, but you're still broke. This was for a hangout that we did a few months ago, well, I guess in June. And then the one below that, leadership versus lemmingship. I created this in Canva as well. This was actually for a Facebook ad. Can you hear me, Nutty? Okay, just thought I had some echo there.
Yeah,
this is actually for
Zen just came on. We can hear you fine.
Awesome, awesome.
Yeah.
So this was actually for a Facebook ad. Okay, I created this in Canva. And Facebook is really strict on the proper image stuff. So I'm going to kind of be going over that as we're on the Canva thing. But again, this ad, it was a free PDF download, the secret to tripling your chances of personal transformation. So you can use Canva for anything. You can use it for Facebook ads, just simple graphic, like Facebook posts and all that. We'll go into all that later. I'm going to keep going. I use this for a blogging cheat sheet that I had on my blog. And this is the last slide here. This is an example of the Facebook posts that I make on my fan page. As you can see, they kind of follow a theme. They have the white border. 2 of them have the Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and Google symbols at the top. I can show you guys how to create that. And I basically keep it the same. All I change out is the image in the background and sometimes my call to action. Sometimes I want them to go to my blog. Sometimes I want them to remind them of something I'm creating, like the Unleash project, right? That's something I'm creating. So that's just kind of to give you an idea of what we're going to be creating in Canva. So I think this is the end of the slides here. And I'm just going to go over to Canva. So when you go to canva.com, you Google canva.com, this is a page that's going to come up. And the first thing that you want to do is create a design. So you're either going to use custom dimensions, which we're going to go into this later. But for right now, I kind of want to go over social media. So you would pick Facebook or Facebook cover. If you click on more, there's Instagram, Tumblr.
Hey, Shirley.
Yes?
I don't mean to interrupt, but is there any way you can make your slide fill the screen bigger, a little bigger?
Let me see. If I stop screen sharing and try it again, I can try doing that.
Okay.
Let me see. I have it on desktop. Do you think I should change it to the Google Hangout?
Try it.
Okay. Okay, so I'm going to go over to the Canva website again. Can you see the full screen, Nettie?
No, it's still the same size. I mean, we can see it. I think there's a way you can make it the full screen, but I'm not sure how to do that. So,
how about now?
let me take it back again. Let me get you. That's a little bigger. Yeah, that's better.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
All right, I'm just going to mute you because I think sometimes if you talk, it will switch to your face and then they won't.
I'm gonna mute myself.
Awesome. Okay. So yeah, just unmute yourself and let me know again if you can't see it, okay? So I'm just gonna to start off with, we're just gonna start with a Facebook post. So you hit that. It's taken a while to load. All right, so Canva, yeah, they are switching some things up. They're starting some new things, but basically what you want to do first is I like starting with the background, and I will either go to uploads. I can choose the photos I've already uploaded, and to do that you just click on this and choose from your desktop, right? Or you can choose from Canva's pictures, and you just go down to photos. And Canva actually provides some free images, which are pretty cool. As you go farther down, you can pay like $1 and buy some pictures off of Canva. So just to start with, I'm going to choose this one. And this is going to be for a Facebook post. So I just size it. So I just click and drag, size it to the right size. I'm going to have to go to all the corners and make sure that the picture is on the outside of Canva. Okay? As you guys remember, the outline that I had before, I'll show you guys how I make it. Next thing I do is I just search for lines. This will bring up all these lines. I like using the white one. And then this is just it takes some time. I'm not going to do it perfectly because we don't have time, but you just have to play around with it. I like having the white borders around my images. I just think it makes them pop. Once you have it the way you want it, you just have to click and drag. Right? Once you think if that's a great size, a neat trick is you just left click and you hit copy. Right? And that just gives you another line that was the same as the one that you just created. And then you just drag it up to wherever you want it. I'm not going to bother too much centering it right now. We can do that at the end. So now I'll just hit copy again to do the other sides. This little whirly-giggy thing, it says to rotate. So you just kind of rotate it. And it's going to be a little long. So just get it as good as you can. And it's almost. All right, so this is the really cool thing. I don't know if you guys can see this, but there's 3 purple dotted lines. Right? So when I move the line here, so what that's doing is it's a really high-end way for Canva to show me if I'm being straight, if I'm being in line and all that. So now that I have the one side, all I have to do again is copy. And I have the other side. Just have to line it up. And again, Canva will show me with the purple dotted lines how to make it straight. Just have to play around with it. All right, it's not perfect. You can see some of the edges are a little weird, but this is basically how I start. All right, I think I'm just making it worse. Oh boy. All right, let's call that good, okay? So now I'll just grab a quote or something off of Google or Pinterest if it's related to what my fan page is about, which my fan page is about motivation, it's about marketing, that kind of thing. So I already have a quote that I have in mind, so I'm going to hit text. So this is a cool thing. You can choose to use some of these templates for your text. All you do is you just click it, and boom, it just shows up, right? And then you'd say something like, hey, and then your quote, right? I actually don't really like this template for quotes, so I'm just going to delete it. So if you don't want to use any of these templates, I love using them for other things, but for Facebook, for my fan page posts, I just usually like making them myself. I'll just click hit sub headline, and I'll just start writing in my text. Okay, I think I kind of this quote, I think I kind of messed it up. Anyway, you get the drift, right? So you just put a quote in. I don't actually need to be spending this much time doing this. And then you highlight it, and then this is the text drop down, and then you just choose your text. So honestly, it's not important which one you pick. I would just suggest that you keep using the same one every time. This builds brand loyalty, and it builds that people start recognizing when you are using these templates. Okay, so just any one is fine, really. Okay, and you can just play around with the size again. I would maybe put it here. And this is where you can get creative with the colors. You can use white. Just make sure that you choose something that shows up better. All right, so we're almost done. Sometimes here at the bottom I'll put my website, like www.whatmyblog is, right? Sometimes I just leave it blank. And then the last part is the icons. This is what it is. So you just hit that, double click that twice, and the ones that I use are quite far down. So you get the picture, right? Like you just have to play around with it, develop your own style, and then stay consistent with the type of stuff that you're posting. I can't actually find the one that I usually use, so let me just search. Oh, there it is. So I just move it in place. Right? So this, like, I'm not going to spend time doing all of this because I'm kind of running out of time. But you just size it the way you want. You just click and drag and you play around with it. Okay? So now what I want to show you guys, so you just kind of maybe fill the rest of it with emblems or kind of whatever you want. So this is, I'm just going to show you guys a really neat trick to doing things faster. Okay? This is what I love doing. duplicate, right? So instantly I've got the same thing. I don't have to mess around with all these white lines again. I don't have to mess around with all these emblems. All I do is I switch out the background. So I would just go up to photos again, right? And click a new photo. Put it in place. You guys already know how to do that. And then if you click on back, it'll make it go to the back. Let me see. Did I maybe delete this one first? Anywho, let me just see. Okay, the white lines aren't coming to the front. Let me just trash this. But basically, what you want to be doing is you want to be duplicating and just changing out the images, changing out you can go to each one then, right, and change out the text to a new quote. And what this does is in a matter of seconds, you can create like 5 or 10 posts, and you can schedule these out on your fan page and get things done in way faster time than before. So I'm going to keep moving so we can get through more of this. Another thing that I really like doing is, I'm just going through my list here. Learning is making a bold box around words. So I just took a quick screenshot of this. So what you do is on Windows you hit Alt, Shift, and B, and on Mac you hit Option, Shift, and B. So I'm going to actually do that on one of these now just to give you a demonstration. I'm going to actually do it on here. Okay, so if I don't get it the first time, don't hold it against me. Okay, crap, I didn't get it. So you Alt, Shift, B. Okay. I'm going to try it one more time. Oh, it's not working. This is my nightmare. Oh, I did it! I did it. Did you guys see that? Okay, so let me just fix this up. Okay, so, whew, I'm so glad this worked. So what you could do, right, is you could have your social media quote, and then here you could do click the link below, or you could do click here to follow, right? It's just a neat little way to have these boxes, and I always seen other people using them, and I didn't know how to do them, and now I do. So I just wanted to show you guys real quick how to make those neat little boxes. If you guys don't know, I'm going to bring it up one more time. It's kind of hard to show you when I'm doing a screen share. So what you do again is, you may want to take a screenshot of this. You may want to pause this video and take a screenshot. But you do Alt or Option, Shift, and B. And you have to hit these 3 keys at the same time. And I've shown you guys I can't do it perfectly either. It takes me a few tries. But it's just a neat way to stand out. And it's great for putting boxes around your call to actions, because people's eyes are drawn to that right away, right? So that's just a few of the many, many, many shortcuts I use to make making my Canva images really fast. I just wanted to show you guys that. And let me go through my list one more time. Oh, I want to show you guys how to do the blog footer and side banner. So a person that is a really great example of this, let me just first bring something else up. So if you guys are in the same company that I am, right, you are gonna know what this footer banner is, right? We see it everywhere. So many people are using the same banners, right? So what that means is you're not standing above your competition. You're not being different, right? If you're using these banners, they're great banners, but it's what everyone else is using. So why not be different, okay? So a person that I really admire who has just went above and beyond being different and being herself is, and I'm not sure if she's listening tonight, but her name is Emily LaGrange. If you've ever seen her blog, you're not likely to forget it, right? It's bright pink. And what I just want to point out at the very bottom, you've probably seen this banner before, right? Making money online is simple with this new smart system, okay? But the difference with her on her blog is it's pink, right? So cool. So I'm going to show you, I'm just going to go over to Canva right now and show you guys exactly how she did it. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back into Canva. This time we're going to use custom dimensions. A footer banner, you might want to write this down, is 960 by 500. You click design. And it brings up the right size. Now that actually looks quite wide. So I may have the wrong measurements here, because if you look at Emily's, hers is really skinny. So I'm not sure what, let me just check real quick. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Jing. It's really awesome. Go Google Jing and use it. It's a great screen capture. So what I love using Jing for is when I go like this and hover over her graphic, it's going to tell me actually the measurements, right? So her measurements are 1996 by 400. So what I'm just going to do is go into Canva and use those instead. All right. Let me see if that looks a little bit closer to hers. Yep, it does, right? Kind of looks similar to hers, right? This one doesn't. So let's go back into, right, so her background is, I'm not sure what this girl is doing. I think she's laying on a hammock, right? So you just go into Canva, and you don't want to copy Emily directly, right? You don't want to do everything she's doing. You want to do something different. So you'd maybe go into photos, and you get a different picture. It should be a lifestyle picture, because your followers are going to want to be attracted to what you're doing. I haven't really thought this far ahead, or else I'd have a picture ready. So let's just do let's do this. It's pretty simple, but I don't know if I can get it blown up enough. Maybe. All right, so it's a pretty basic picture. And the cool thing that Emily did is Emily's color palette is obviously pink, right? And what you can see is she's kept her colors very congruent. It's the same color pink throughout her whole blog post thing, right? So how she did that was she would have went here, and her filter, she would have went to filter, right? She might have hit advanced options, and let me see. You can pick out your own filters in Canva, which is really cool. They have some of the most amazing filters I've ever seen. So you just pick your filter. You can, let's put it on this one. It's better, right? So the only things that I worry about in this whole thing is blur. I love the blur thing. So once you go like that, and if you blur out your image, what that does is it makes the words easier to read. So just keep that in mind. Okay? So let's say all of your pictures, you want to have the same amount of blur and you want to keep the same filter. All you would do is you would just copy and paste this filter code. Just like put it in your your notes or something. And the next time you go into Canva, you would just copy this. And so yeah, so you're in Canva, and you would just go to filter. And so instead of messing around with all this stuff, you just go down to the filter image and you just paste in your filter image, and then it would always be the same. It would always be congruent, right? Instead of having to mess around with this every time and trying to make it the same as all the other ones you just created. So one last thing that Emily might have done is she might have searched for box. Okay, she might have chosen this box. And the same with the filter code, you can also have color codes. And where you insert the color code would be here. Okay, so just to give you guys an example, I have a color palette as well. Okay, here are the color codes for my color palettes. So just to give you guys let's do the coral one, because I like using these colors everywhere. I would put in the color code right there. Nope, didn't work. Oh, there, I think that's the one. Let me see. Oh, I think I have to remove the number. Oh, I'm not perfect at this, guys. I hope you know that honestly, more than anything, I just love having fun with this and playing around. I'm not perfect. You don't have to be. This time, it's going to work. Awesome. I think that's my color there. So here is the secret. Let's try to get a pink that's closer to Emily's, just so that you guys can kind of see what she might have done, right? So I think she might have been using that pink. This might be similar to what her color code is, right? What you do next is you click on this drop down and you click on transparency. It's at 100, meaning this is full color. Full color. It's at 100. When it's at transparency, there's no color. So you want to go in between. You want to go enough that it makes the background obviously the color that you want, but not too much that it completely hides the background. So you would just want to kind of go in the middle. And then you would just create the element to be the right size. Okay? Oops, it's not quite up far enough. All right, so I'm taking quite a bit of time doing this. But again, you guys would know how to do the rest, right? So you just go in, you'd pick the text, you'd make it the right size. And I'm just going through this really fast. Honestly, it takes me hours sometimes to do something just because I'm such a perfectionist. But you guys can make this really fast if you want to. So making money online. What else did she do? So you pick circle. And you would do white. Right? And her is in pink, which is, we'll just grab the color code for this, is E. So you just copy and paste. Just going to go fast here, guys, because we kind of need to get through this, okay? And again, make it the right size. And I would just drag this here. Obviously, you would make it bigger. And I would put in my color code, which I actually don't even have to insert the code, but I'm going to do it anyway just to show you guys, right? Because the pink is already there. Making money online is simple. So you just add some more text. Obviously, you'd make this bigger because you want it to be very well read. You'd make it white. Okay, so I'm not going to finish this because it's going to take me too long. But you guys can see how easy it was to make something similar as Emily's. My text is maybe a bit different, but again, you can go in and you can change the text. Okay, you can change all this. The last thing she did, so get access for free. I'm just going to quickly do that to show you guys where that may be, okay? So you just do a square again. I don't know. You'd play around with it, and then you'd put the call to action. Make sure that where they click is really, really noticeable and big. And the great thing that she did, she actually made it green. And I know it kind of looks ugly, right? You would think green looks ugly, but studies have actually shown that if you make the call to action a different color, people are more likely to click it. So my time is going to be running out. I just wanted to show you guys how quick, how easy it is to make a footer banner for your blog so you can stand out. You can do the same thing with a side banner, right? And so all you would do when you're finished making this, of course, you would just hit download. And I like choosing the high quality image, a PNG. You just let it save. And then when you're in the back of your blog, I'm sure you guys all know where to upload the image. If you don't, make sure to ask that question below, and I will go ahead and answer that question for you. But I'm sure you guys know. I'm just trying to power through this so I can get through everything and still have time to answer all of you guys' questions. All right, so another quick thing that I want to show you guys is when you go to the home version of Canva, so then it'll pop up showing me this is what saved to my computer. It says this is the footer banner. Of course, it's not finished. So just exit out of that. So when you're in the home page of Canva, a really neat thing is they're coming out with new stuff all the time, but a neat thing they've added is Design School. So when you click on that, you will learn everything you need to know in Canva here, okay? I love going through the tutorials. And I don't go through every tutorial all day long, every day, right? Whenever I want to learn something that I can't find the answer to, I will come to Design School. I will scroll, I will go through all this stuff and see if I can find my answer. That's how I learned how to bold around text. That's how I learned how to make the white boxes around text, was in here. Right? And you're going to learn everything that you can learn with color palettes and all that stuff. All right? It just goes on and on. It can show you everything that I don't have time to show you tonight. Let's put it that way. Okay, so I'm just going to go through my notes one more time and see if there's anything that I want to show you guys that I haven't shown you yet. We went through duplicate images. We went through how to bring back to front. We went through how to make a transparent box. We went through how to find the filter code and save your codes. I think I went through everything. So I'm going to head back over to the Google Hangout. I'm going to stop screen sharing for now. And we're back. So if you guys have any questions, I hope you put them in the chat. I'm going to go over to the chat right now. And look, Nettie, if you have anything you want to add, feel free to. Oh, okay. So I'm seeing a first question from Cassandra Martin. She's asking how much it costs. Canva is free. Canva is absolutely free, okay? Canva for Work, canvaforwork.com just came out, and it's going to be $10 a month. But you do not need to pay for it. I repeat, you do not need to pay for it. Canva for Work is more for advanced stuff. And it's for corporations. It's not really for small business owners. I'm just going through the questions. Nettie, you can feel free to.
Yeah, I saw that Ellie asked much the same question. You know, are you using Canva for business? And I think she meant for work.
Yeah.
Which, are you using Work, or are you sticking with what you've got?
Yes, I did sign up for the Canva for Work just because I wanted to see what they're coming out with. One of the things that they're coming out with is they're going to allow you to upload your own custom fonts. Right now with Canva, all you can do is use the fonts that they provide. But with Canva for Work, they're going to come out with something where you can upload your own fonts. Right now, I have to split making my images between PicMonkey and Canva, because in PicMonkey, you are allowed to upload your own font. So I have to create everything in Canva and then upload it in PicMonkey just so I can add the fonts that I use all the time. So I think that answers that question.
Wow, that's awesome. Yeah. I'm not sure. I can have full screen. And it works.
Shirley.
Yeah?
Shirley, can you put a URL link in that call to action box somehow? You know, once you post that on Facebook, it's a box that says click here to learn more or whatever. Can you put a URL link to?
Well, it depends what you're using that image for, right? So if you're using the image in a Facebook ad, obviously when you click the Facebook ad, it goes to your capture page. If you are using that image as a Facebook post, it won't be clickable. It won't be clickable. That's why that white box, I wouldn't use it as a click here thing. I would put a white box that says click here if I would make it in a footer banner or a side banner on my blog, because obviously when they click on the banner on our blogs, it goes to our capture page. On a Facebook post, it wouldn't necessarily. So.
Right. Okay. Gotcha. Thank you.
Okay. Anybody have any questions? Put it in. Now's your opportunity. Put it in the chat roll, and we will, you know, get to it. I'm just scrolling down and seeing. Sue Price asked, "Are you using the free or paid version?" I think you explained that.
And just to give you guys an idea, like you can use Canva for, like we went over, blog side banners, blog footer banners. In some of our blog themes, you have this huge image thing, right? I think it's theme 3. You can create this amazing theme 3 picture in Canva with all the amazing color things and stuff that you can do, right? You can use it for when you're doing a PowerPoint presentation, the same way that I did the PowerPoint today, like the slides. You can put an image in there as the cover photo, if you will, of your slides and blow it up, and it worked for PowerPoint slides. You can use it for anytime you're creating slides and you want to make them pretty. You can create everything in Canva and just hit duplicate, 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 and it's all the same, and you just put in your different text. So I'm just trying to think of all these different ideas you can use Canva for.
Yeah. Wow.
So you're saying that you can use slide presentation? You can use it for slide presentation, and then you import those into PowerPoint?
Yep. So I use Keynote, and it just, in the one point part of the Keynote, it just says add media, which is what you would, that's where you would upload it. Just to give you guys an idea for Emily, if you guys, I'm not going to screen share again because we're running out of time, but if you guys go to emilylagrange.com, I was just on her site. If you look at her blog posts, it says check out my latest posts, and all her blog, like the pictures she uses in her blog post, they're all the same, and they're all created through Canva. They're not all the same, but they all have the same theme because she's able to go into Canva super fast and create them because she has that template already uploaded. She just has to switch out a few things, and it's good to go. So.
Yeah. Well, I think what I've learned tonight was, I learned a ton, but I also learned that I need to have more patience, because I think that was part of my problem. I would go in to use Canva, and a lot of things that you did tonight, you know, I have tried to do that. I just get frustrated after 1 or 2 tries, and I think, this doesn't work, trash, you know. But the other thing is that you can upload your own pictures, too. You know, when you want to use a really cool picture, if you've been at the beach, or say you've got one of yourself that you want to incorporate on your banner, you can take and you can put that picture onto the banner like you did with Emily's, can't you?
Yeah.
You can upload it. Yeah.
Exactly. And I just want to add, like, for all those of you who are using all other types of apps, that's fine. Go ahead and use them if they're easier to use. Another thing with Canva is it's really, really easy for new people. Meaning, when you're centering something, it'll show up these purple dotted lines to tell you you're in the center or you're off of it or you're not. And so it's really easy when you're new to be using that type of a thing that is so moving with you as you're moving stuff around on it, telling you if it's in the center or not. That's what I loved it for. So with PicMonkey, for instance, if you guys use that, it's heavy, it's bulky, it takes 3 seconds for anything to update, and it's just a pain that way. So I would say Canva cuts the time down by 3 times over PicMonkey, no questions asked.
Well,
yeah, I've been using PicMonkey, and this looks so much more. But I've been using PicMonkey, got used to it, and you know, sometimes I just don't do a whole lot of creative on my pictures because it is so cumbersome, and I just go, oh, screw it, I'll just post the picture and get creative in what I write. So this is cool. Thank you.
And the thing that I learned with Canva, the only reason that I learned Canva is I saw all these people creating images, you know, with the white boxes and the faded out stuff, and I was like, how the heck are they doing that? Are they paying someone thousands of dollars? No. So I went into Canva and I'm like, that's how they did it. And I just started looking off of other people, and that's how I learned. Because it's really hard to sit in Canva and come up with something amazing on your own. You've got to look around you for inspiration and then just kind of run with it and play around with it.
Hey, I have a quick question because you mentioned it yourself, so I'll just shoot it out there, and maybe it's related to Canva or how you might integrate it or use it in conjunction with, but you threw out Jing. So I've heard of Jing. So what that does is it captures a screenshot and helps you use that in Canva, or?
Oh, Jing's amazing.
How's that work?
Jing's amazing.
You just download it? Is it?
I wouldn't use Jing to capture a photo, to upload the photo into Canva. I would not use it for that. The only reason I used Jing when I was doing the presentation was because I wanted to know the size of the footer banner, and I didn't have time to figure that out. So Jing, I just went over top of it so that it would tell me at the corner what size it was. But
I got you. So you can use Jing to hover over other people's pictures to see what the exact dimension is, so that you can use that to go over to Canva and do your own dimensions over there.
Yes.
Oh, that's cool. Okay.
I use Jing too if I see something, perhaps on Facebook, that really relates to me, and I want to remember it. I just click on Jing and I take snapshot. It just boom gets it right there, and you can save it.
Yes.
It's you know, documentations you can take a quick snapshot of and then send them in Messenger or something. It's a great free tool.
Yeah, and I use it all the time when I see Facebook ads or other people, like I said before, using stuff that I want to learn how to create. I'm going to forget about it, right? So I need to have a copy so that when I'm into Canva, I can pull it up and go. So I'm just going to check the chat one more time. You guys can keep chatting, and I'll just see if there's any more questions. Oh, Steph just mentioned if you want more nice images for free, check out Pixabay.com.
What's Pixabay?
It's a place where you can...
That was my other question, Shirley May. I'm glad she brought that up. Is there free pictures in Canva that you can use already, in addition to what there is? Okay, so you can either use suggestions or you can use the ones there.
Yeah.
That's good to know. There's a lot of copyrighted pictures when you Google things, so...
Yeah, I think you might come across, there are quite a few in Canva's and that you pay $1 for, and you pay $1, but then after, I think is it 24 hours you only have it, use of it, and if you go to use it again in a week, you have to pay another $1.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it says right on the picture if it's free or not. You know, you don't get blindsided, but they've got some beautiful pictures for $1. Like if you were doing your website or doing an ebook or doing a product or something, it'd be, you know, it's well worth $1. You know?
Absolutely. And I'm just going to actually go into the chat, and I'm going to copy and paste the link from KimGarst.com, and I use this all the time. And what she wrote a blog post on the top 31 places to find free stock photos, and these are high-end photos. I mean, Pixabay is listed among them. So I'm just going to copy and put the link here in the chat. Every time I'm in Canva, because I've bookmarked her site, I'll just go back to the site and I will choose free images. Because the other thing you have to think about the Canva images, again, everyone else is using them, your competition is using them. Do you really want to be using the same image as everyone else is? No, you want to go and use other stuff too. And you'll run through the Canva images pretty fast and be sick of them. So
yeah,
they're just really great if you need them because you're in a hurry and you just want to slap something together.
Right.
yeah.
Well, that's great.
Okay.
You made it look so easy. I took PicMonkey at your suggestion a long time ago and kind of mastered that a little bit. It gets frustrating because of the load factor, so this is cool. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna end this with if you guys have any more questions, just feel free to follow me, add me on Facebook. I'm gonna be posting more things on my fan page for free, little tips and stuff with Canva, just because it's my passion. So if we don't get everything answered tonight, just make sure to reach out to one of us later on in the future.
Okay, so on that note, because we are getting on, and we respect your time, so we don't like you to keep you any longer than an hour. First of all, I just want to say thank you so much, Shirley May. You're such an inspiration to the rest of us because, gosh darn it, you know, when you say a few years ago you didn't know how to turn on a toaster, and I've used a toaster all my damn life and still can't manage Canva, then I've got the problem. I need to get in there and learn it. So thank you, thank you. And I'm sure everybody else appreciates it too. Your training was outstanding. And I just want to say to anybody that if you've joined us to catch this training, this is what our team is all about. This is how we help and inspire and motivate people to do the best and get the best out of their business is by getting on the team or talking to someone else that invited you to this hangout tonight. Go back to them and talk to them and find out how you join up. If you're interested in joining, there's a Let's Get Started button right down below this picture of me, and hit that button. Get started right now. Don't wait, and get in on everything that we've got going on. And we give away so much for free, and we love doing it. We do it because we want to see you succeed. So I just want to say, if you're out there looking for a team, click the button and let's get started. And I got to sign off now because it is getting on. But thank you so much for joining us. And we'll see you next week, same time, same place, different topic. And we love you all. Bye now. Take care, gang. And oh, one more thing. If you've got a question, put it in the chat roll, and Shirley May or someone will get back to it and answer it by next week. Okay? Take care. Bye-bye.